Greetings, my fellow Evos, sci-fi, and superhero fans. This is Kip to yours, author and creator of the Evo Universe, here once again to take a minute and update you on all things Evo. For those that have been keeping up to date on our social media pages, you know it's been a crazy couple of months for the Evo Universe. And if you have not done so yet, I encourage you to subscribe and keep up to date on all things going on in the Evo Universe. So without further ado, let's get into it. New York Comic Con. October has come and gone, and we're still coming off of the euphoria of the Evo Universe making its third return appearance at this year's 2018 New York Comic Con. We had the pleasure of showcasing both our new and current titles, meeting fans, as well as potential readers, and taking a whole lot of cool cosplay pictures. All in all, we had a blast, and look forward to doing it again next year. If you have not done so yet, check out our website under Evo News or on the Evo Universe Facebook or Instagram pages to see all the awesome pictures we took of fans and cosplayers around our booth and throughout the event. Now let's talk about Genesis the audiobook. As you already know by now, Genesis Book 3 of the first series is available on audiobook format, and the response and reviews for it are going through the roof. The extremely talented Carla Mercer Meyer makes her return to narrate the third book in the Evo Universe lore. Her voice is guaranteed to transport you into the story and make you feel as if you're literally in the middle of all the action. It is currently available at Amazon.com, Audible.com, Google Play, and iTunes. So be sure to check it out. Speaking of Evo Universe lore, let's talk about the next title coming out in 2019, War of Mortal Gods. As stated, Book 1 of War of Mortal Gods takes place right where Genesis left off. So, expect all hell to break loose. Currently I've written 13 chapters and a total of 43 pages so far. Right now I'm in the process of finishing the current chapters before I add additional chapters, so the page count will either double or triple before the end of this year. My projected release date for Book 1 of War of Mortal Gods will hopefully be mid-spring or early summer. I will continue to keep you updated on my progress within the upcoming months. I am also working on my very first fantasy novel, which I hope and pray to release around the same time next year. As much as I love working on the first series and the IRA series, I also like to expand my creative juices and try my hand on other genres. Last year I did so with Fred and Mary, which was a supernatural romance comedy. This upcoming book currently has a working title and 8 chapters. Even though it is a fantasy novel, there will be some romantic comedic aspects to it that I believe those that like that genre will enjoy. I posted some concept artwork of the main heroine named Phelan and the hero who is named Brian, which you can check out on the Evo Universe Facebook page and Instagram pages. I can tell you based on what I have written so far, it's going to be an original and hilarious action-packed read. Speaking of Fred and Mary, I am very happy to announce that it was giving Red City's Review's 2018 award in the genre of romance. I can't tell you how much this means to me. As I said, as much as I love working on the Evo Universe, there are other projects that I strive to do. And Fred and Mary was that original project that was both near and dear to me when I wrote it. And I'm deeply grateful to Red City Review for bestowing me this award for my novel. Just a little backstory. The inspiration behind Fred and Mary was all the ghosts and horror stories that I watched growing up as a kid concerning dolls, including Annabelle. I just thought for once, why not write a romantic ghost story where the doll isn't a menace and instead is trying to help rather than kill? The doll scene in the comedy Haunted House 2 by Marlon Wayans had a little bit to do with the inspiration of this book as well. If you haven't done so yet, take the time to check out Fred and Mary if you're into romantic ghost story comedies. So, I just want to take a minute and talk to you fans and respond to reoccurring questions and concerns in regards to the current Evil Universe storylines. One of the concerns is a regulator's role in the Evil Universe. As many know after reading the series, as powerful as Freedom is, she has limitations. One of those limitations is the extent of her authority. Sophia at the end of the day is a private citizen. Technically, she's a former executed escaped con. So governments are not going to be tripping over themselves to bring her into their affairs. This is where the regulators come in. As the United States superhuman unit, and one of the few groups willing to work with Freedom, they are the extension to a world Sophia would have been closed off to. And even they are limited in their interaction when it comes to her. The regulators also reveal the other aspect of the story, which is the Big Bang 2 incident and how the rise of superhumans has affected the world in a whole. So although the series is about the main character, which is Sophia, I encourage readers to take a look at the layers and other characters within the story, because cause and effect is a very important aspect within the storyline. Also remember that this is an ever-expanding universe. Out of the first series, we got the Eye of Ra, which I intend to do more books on. I'm also considering doing a solo regulator novel, and hopefully plan on introducing other new and exciting heroes, villains, and other characters within the Evil Universe. That's right, people. As long as I'm blessed to do so, I have a lot more stories to tell. Finally, I'd like to wrap this video podcast or this video vlog up by taking a minute to talk about the passing of Stan the Man Lee last week Monday on Veterans Day, which has affected all of us throughout the comic book and superhero community, including me, and just talk a little bit about what Stan meant to me. As I said in the past, two of the main influences that sparked the fire underneath me to finally become a writer was Kevin Smith and his many podcasts and stand-up acts, where he constantly preached that someone like myself can do what he does, and Geoff Johns' Green Lantern's Blackest Night series, which not only gave me a newfound respect for the Green Lantern, who I always believed was second worst to Aquaman, but is, in my opinion, one of the top 5 crossover storylines of all time. However, before Kevin and Geoff, there was Stan. My first introduction to superheroes was the television series Marvel Superheroes. I would sing along with the catchy intro songs for Captain America, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, The Mighty Thor, and The Submariner. My first comic book was an Iron Man comic book where James Rhodes took over as Iron Man while Tony was dealing with alcoholism. And he was, I think, doing battle with some Eternals in that issue. Every Saturday morning was Spider-Man and Friends at my house. The first story arc I ever collected before Blackest Night was Iron Man's very first Armor Wars, where he introduced his silver and red armor. Before I even knew what the word cosplay even was, I dressed up as Blade when the 1998 movie came out. I saw Stan at my very first Comic-Con in New York before I actually decided to become a writer. And one of my greatest regrets was not staying on that line that felt as if it was the length of the Midgard serpent just to meet him, so that I could tell him how much he changed and was going to change my life in the near future. Personally, through his characters, he taught me growing up what it meant to be a hero, to fight for good, to protect the weak, and to stand up to bullies whenever you can. As a writer, he taught me that the key to any great story was not just striving for originality, but ensuring that your audience could emotionally connect to the characters within the story, whether they be good or evil. The overall impact of his influence on my life throughout the decades has been monumental, to say the least. In one token, we all should have expected it. He was up in years and overall lived a very long and fulfilled life. It was evident the man was tired and just wanted to go home to be with his wife. But it's still sad nonetheless, because one more great person who had this magical ability to bring a smile to everyone's face that he met, whether in person, through a screen, or just from the sound of his voice, has left us. We all wish we had more time with him. So Stan, if you're listening from the great beyond, here is one more fan saying thank you for everything you've done and how you've impacted my life. Because of you, I'm doing what I love to do. My mission is to continue to do what you have done in your life in my own style, bringing a smile to people young and old through my very own universe. One day I'll come up with my own catchphrase, but just this once, I hope you don't mind me using yours this one time as I sign off to all my Evo, sci-fi, and superhero fans around the world. Excelsior.